What is going on, YouTube? So I got a little sidetracked in the last video, but let's talk about... Okay, so in quick review, we got the oil catch can for free from the Earth Fair. That was really cool. We got a little patch kit from the... Oh, it doesn't say here, but it's from the... Bikes SGV. So this place is cool as heck. They just let's take a look at their website. bikessgv.org. So I was a little confused about whether come on. Oh, Bike SGV. Oops, too many S's. Bikessgv.org. Let's try that. So I thought they were like a bike company, but I guess they're a... Oh, wow. Look at that drone footage. Yeah, Jose Jimenez. So he was there. He helped me fix my bike. This guy's cool as heck. Okay, so what do you guys do? So they're a non-profit, and they do stuff like... They have a bike repair class, a learn to bike class, earn a bike program, bike park, traffic garden, pump tracks, recycled bicycles starting at $15 for kids, $25 for adults, community bike repair hours. So they have this sort of bike repair shop. You can go in, kind of use all their tools, do whatever. He was telling me, like, they have front shocks for my bike. I have an old Fox shock on the front, which is a piece of garbage. He said they have shocks for like $10 or something. I'm like, dude, are you kidding me? So I could potentially get a new shock on the front of my bike for $10. That's just silly awesome. That's so super awesome. Sasquatch, oh my god, Mayor of San Gabriel Mountains. Okay, so where... I'm trying to get a better description of like what they're about. So they have a bike education center. I guess they're just kind of about cycling and helping people learn about bikes, ride on bikes. Obviously, bicycles are great for the environment. They're super fun. They're great exercise. I love bicycles to death. I think I use it to get to school. I use it to run errands. I could do groceries from the 99-cent store, but I would need kind of a serious bike rack, and I carry a little bit more stuff. If I had a really good bike lane all the way from there to my house, maybe I would. But the thing is, I kind of ride on the sidewalk a little bit, and going up and down the curbs when you have a bunch of groceries in the back is not always the greatest idea in the world. But news, projects. Okay, what projects are they working on? Greenway, traffic diversion, women on wheels, regional bicycling, open streets, bicycle education, nature for all, people bikes, cycling without age. Well, that's cute. This guy delivering some old people in a little rickshaw. That's funny. Here's your old people. I'm just kidding. Let's check him out in the news. Safer Monterey Pass Road. Yeah, I'm all about that. Anyways, so got my bicycle fixed, got some chain lube. Oh, and I got my, let me show you real quick. This had been driving me crazy forever. So this head, I guess called like the head unit or something, it was loose. And dude fixed it. And he said like, oh, maybe it's just loose. And what I guess happened was I took it to a shop and the guy was a dumbass and he just tried to tighten that and it didn't work. But the guy that I just took it to said, you have to loosen this one and then tighten this and then tighten that. So he got that tightened. I got some high quality lube on the chain. I got a patch kit. Granted, I have the glue and the sandpaper, but it has these nice little patches in it. So that's super awesome. Got the glue, got the sandpaper, got the patches. So that is just legit. And of course my neighbor's gonna spend all day vacuuming his car, which sounds awesome. I swear to God, this guy, he's like the loudest shop vac in the world. Yesterday he was banging on his car. I don't know what the hell he was doing, but he'll like work on his car for 20 minutes. Then he'll go back up into his place for 3 hours. Then he'll go work on it for 20 minutes. It's like, buddy, some people I'm convinced just sort of like they just can't stop working on stuff. You know, like I don't mind tinkering, but after I'm done with a project, I don't want to keep messing with it forever and ever and ever. I'm don't like long. Part of the reason I don't really work on my car much because I could spend hours doing body work and trying to fix this little piece of plastic. My part of my HVAC in my car doesn't really work. Like there's a couple servos which I have to take out the heater unit, which is just going to be a nightmare to play with, the heater core. So yeah, my AC works, but I don't really get stuff out of the vents. So anyways, so we got the bicycle stuff, so that was really cool. San Gabriel bikessgv.org. Shout out for them. I need to write down. I told them I'd give them a really awesome Google Maps review. I don't know if that's really going to help, but you know, we all do what we can, right? Bikessgv.org. Okay. So that was one booth that I visited. We also have some little plants. Look at this. I think they're like little baby tomatoes. And even though I might move, you know, whatever, I just figured, for God's sakes, they got free plants. I have dirt. We have sun. Let's see what we can do. So I'm going to go ahead and plant these a little bit later today. We'll do a video on that. That'll be super fun. That was from a garden, kind of a garden-related thing. I don't know if any of you have heard of what a master gardener is. Let me see if I can get a little more light over here. Oh, there we go. That's like a million times better. So the class is only once a year, unfortunately. It started in January. I don't even know, like, what does it mean to be a master gardener? I mean, I understand you're trying to improve your gardening skills, but okay, master gardener program. Train individuals in the science and art of gardening. These individuals pass on the information they learned during their training to volunteers and educate the public on gardening and horticulture. Oh, founded in 1973 in Washington State University. Okay, so it's sort of like an official program to improve your gardening skills so that you can teach them to community. How awesome is that? That's super awesome. And of course, if you can get connected to, she gave me, where was that other thing she gave me? She gave me, and this is of course one of the reasons it's really cool to go to Earth Day stuff. She gave me the name of this group, the Los Angeles Community Garden Council, because I was telling her that there's some land just by where I live where it's just a bunch of grass and there's nothing really going on. Honestly, it'd be an amazing spot for a community garden. The parking's good, a little bit of traffic, but it's perfectly flat, tons of space. It's just screaming for a community garden, to be honest. You know, it's such a waste to just water it with, just to water the grass for the sake of having grass. You know, it's a stupid use of water, in my opinion. So, we got connected to that. That was super, super cool. So we're gonna get our garden on a little bit, hopefully. Volunteer with them. They were saying that they have, and these guys can help me get connected to some local community gardens. Maybe I might even be able to find a plot where I can grow a little bit of food, which would be super, super cool. So a little bit of garden fun. We also got some seeds. Got some arugula, and we got some window box tomatoes, which I could grow in my window if I had a slightly... Last time I tried to grow stuff up here, I sort of knocked one of the pots over and I had dirt all over my comforter and all on the bed. It's just a goddamn mess, but it's not the worst place. I just need to make sure that the plant only needs, 4 to 6 hours of sort of direct-ish sunlight in the morning and then indirect sun the rest of the day. But I'll probably just put them in the front, right in front of my door. You know, everyone else has got crap in front of their door. I can have crap in front of my door. I don't really like it, but you know, you do what you can, right? You work with the space you have. So we have arugula. And if they had a lot more seeds, I would have taken a few more and offered to mail them to some of my subs. But, you know, they only had like 30 packs of seeds, so I didn't want to get greedy and start taking them. But anyways, that's pretty cool. I have some pots with dirt already in them, ready to go. In fact, what I should probably do is water the pots tonight, let the soil kind of soak in and absorb the water, and then plant the seeds tomorrow. Because if you kind of try to plant seeds and the dirt's really dry and then you pour a bunch of water, what happens is the whole soil just kind of goes bleh, and then kind of sinks down and gets a little bit heavy. So maybe I'll spend the next 24 hours kind of lightly trying to water the soil so that it can absorb water slowly and not get super, super dense. Okay, so that was the garden stuff. Is that all the garden stuff? Yeah. Oh, excuse me. Met somebody that does junk removal. I sort of just like took this to be nice, and in case any of my neighbors leave some big ugly stuff in front of their house that's there for weeks and weeks and weeks, I can just go ahead and leave this on their door and they can kind of take care of that. But what's also cool is that the junk removal lady was telling me about a reuse store, a restore. They call it a restore, but Habitat for Humanity gets a lot of construction materials donated. So if you want to build a house or if you want to rehab your house, go there and get lights, basically it's sort of like everything you find in Home Depot, except the selection isn't as good and the store is about the size of a grocery store instead of the size of Home Depot. So all manner of construction products, like half a gallon of paint, half a thing of caulking, different tools, fixtures, vanities, mirrors. You could quite literally build a small house with everything you find in here. You might be a little bit short on some of the basic framing, but if you've never been to a Habitat for Humanity restore, I strongly encourage you to check it out, because they're I used to go to one in San Diego, and I didn't really have a lot of use for the stuff in there because I lived in an apartment and I wasn't doing anything, but great resource to get cheap stuff for your house, cheap stuff for your tiny home, cheap stuff for your homestead, and of course you're benefiting Habitat for Humanity. So who doesn't want to do that, right? What else do we have? Oh, I was talking with this lady about why I might want to leave California. She wanted me to volunteer up for, to go be active and tell people not to use plastic straws. Look, okay, that's great, but I'm just too busy to go door to door to restaurants. And she said something that made me glad I didn't give her my email. She said, yeah, I've been collecting emails for a year and I never sent an email out. And I was just like, are you serious? You're an idiot. Like, okay, no, that's kind of a strong word, but when you tell someone that you want their email and then the next thing you say is, oh, I've been collecting emails and I've never emailed anyone, my respect for you just kind of plummets. So, sorry I called you an idiot, lady, but don't be collecting emails and telling people you're going to contact them if you're never going to contact them. That's just dumb. I'm sorry. That's just really silly, I think. And, almost makes me want to re-edit this video, but to be honest, if she sees the video and she doesn't like that comment, maybe it'll inspire her to actually, email people. Don't be like a half volunteer. If you're gonna be part of something and make it happen. Don't just be half part of something. Which is why I didn't want to be part of what they were doing, because I don't have the time and energy to devote myself completely to what they're doing. Yes, plastic straws are bad. Yes, there's a lot of plastic in the ocean without a doubt. And yes, we need to save the little turtles. But don't tell people don't tell people you collect a bunch of emails and never email them anyone. That's not really a great way to promote yourself. Okay, so this is okay, so this is a store that they can accept donations of kind of craft related things. So art, craft, sewing materials, and they have a few other cool things going on. You can rent a sewing machine for $5 an hour. That's pretty cool. You can take a sewing workshop for $10, which is 2 hours. That's really cool. I might need to sign up for that because I don't have any sewing experience, and I'd much rather play on their machines than accidentally, break my own machine. So that's super, super cool. But also just a way to kind of donate, extra stuff. Like, say I move out of my apartment and I've got some glue, or white Elmer's glue, which is really kind of garbage. I could just go there and say, hey, here's some glue. I know you guys like doing crafts. Take it, Sometimes it's nice to have a few places on hand just to get rid of stuff, so that if you ever have too much extra stuff, you know where to do it. if a client ever said, oh, I want you to put in a new vanity in my bathroom, but I prefer that you don't throw the old one out, I'd say, okay, awesome. I'll donate this one to Habitat for Humanity, and it won't go to the garbage, and you won't have to get rid of it on Craigslist and deal with strangers coming to your house, right? Same thing with this. If I have, I don't know, at the thrift store, excuse me, I'm kind of tired. Oh, I rode my bike. It was a long 45-minute ride, long ride. A little bit out of shape, and it's kind of a warm day. But I have something like, I don't know, I got like 4 yards of this blue cloth at the thrift store for like $1 or $2 or something. And I was thinking I may make, some bed sheets or some pillowcases, or in the prepping arena, maybe some little drawstring bags. Excuse me, I don't know. Something. But, wow, the hiccups are getting me. But in the event that I have extra craft materials, I don't have to worry about where to get rid of them. I'm not the biggest into crafts. I'd rather spend time making a sailboat than gluing macaroni onto a paper plate. Not to speak ill of people that do crafts. I know it's not all macaroni on paper plates, right? But I'm not a super big craft person. I kind of like things that are functional. To make something just for decorative purposes, I don't think I would mind, but at the same time, most of the stuff that I would craft, at least in the crafty world, I don't think would be something I would want to hang on my wall. But anyways, I don't mind crafting things, but I'm not a big fan of arts and crafts per se. Okay, moving on. I ran into a group that does some bullying, some like bullying classes, anti-bullying classes. And the main reason that I took this was they mentioned that they have some education in Spanish, and the place that I volunteer passing out the food, that congregation has a lot of Spanish members. So I thought I would just give this, I'll probably try to hit them up tomorrow, Sunday, to help with the passing out food. And just give this to the deacon and say, hey, deacon, I don't mean to be like pushing this on you, but if you have any interest, or if any of the members of your congregation have any interest in anti-bully training in Spanish, here's some information. I'm almost like reticent to pass this on just because I really don't know the deacon well enough to be like referring another program to him, but it's in Spanish. Bullying is certainly a problem that causes kids grief. I've been bullied a couple times. Nothing. One time was a little bit major, but not anything that was too traumatizing. So there's that. What else? Okay, so repair. Let me talk about the recipe thing. I got this beautiful meal, healthy meals, like recipe flip book. It's got a ton of recipes in it. This is like, I'm probably most excited about this than maybe anything else that I got for free. I'm pretty sure you could eat a cup of strawberries. Nobody's gonna get fat eating strawberries, but that's just me. Same with trail mix. You're gonna get sick. You're probably gonna get sick before you get fat eating too much trail mix. But anyways, there's great pictures. Just this whole thing is filled with like some vegetarian, some not vegetarian, like black bean corn pitas. Doesn't that look good? Chili. Okay, so there's recipes on each side. You got tons of recipes, so I'm going to be taking advantage of this. So just tons and tons of delicious recipes and delicious pictures. So real awesome find. They also had some water, and as I say this, I'm dying of thirst. I need to go get some water right after I finish this video. Last but not least, we have the Repair Cafe. Now this is a really cool, how many reallys is that? 3 reallys? One more really cool thing that I think I'm going to try to start being a part of. They have it every 2 months at the library, and you go there and you get stuff fixed. Now, I want to be one of the people that fixes things. So I would sign up for a booth that would sort of be like general fixing, maybe a little bit of woodwork, maybe a little bit of mechanical repair. So anyways, you just kind of sit at the booth, people get their tickets or whatever, and then they come and say, hey, can you help me fix my this, help me fix my that? And if you can, you fix it. And if not, you don't. And it's all volunteer. It's not, I would feel even sheepish about like passing out business cards for handyman work. It's not really about that. People, that kind of stuff kind of comes up in conversation. I like that to be a lot more organic. So when people say, like, oh, what do you do? Say, oh, I'm a handyman, and then they'll be like, oh, wow, that makes sense. You fix stuff, you're a handyman. So rather than just trying to like do the hard sell on my business, I sort of, I guess I could push my business a little bit harder than I do. In fact, I'm out of business cards at the moment. Shame on me. But, and speaking of business cards, I was talking with this one lady about power, going green. In fact, it was funny. These two ladies were at this booth about 100% Pasadena, trying to get Pasadena 100% renewable energy. Awesome goal, right? And I asked one of the ladies, so what percentage of Pasadena's energy is renewable right now? She's like, oh, I don't even know. I'm thinking, seems like that'd be kind of a common question you'd get asked, But anyways, I was talking with this one lady about how to get some solar set up for her house and on her balcony, and you need a controller and a charger and stuff like that. So I might have gotten a client out of her. But when I was talking with these two ladies about going green, another gentleman was next to me, and he kind of heard me talking about stuff, and I think his name was Mark. So I was about to leave the park, and Mark came up to me, and I was like, what is this guy coming up to me for? Like, I don't even know him. I wasn't like afraid or anything, but I was just like, what does this guy want to talk to me about? And then he kind of got into it like, oh yeah, I heard what you were talking about. I'm writing a book on green stuff. He didn't really explain exactly what the book's about, but I guess part of it's about green energy and clean living and such. And he's like, yeah, I kind of like some of the stuff you're talking about. Can I get your contact information and stuff? So who knows? Cross your fingers. Maybe LA Prepper's going to be in an ebook in the future. And I was giving him some, we were sharing thoughts on marketing, on publishing, on, YouTube and spreading the word. He's going to be trying to grow. He aims to grow his book through sort of like more grassroots. Oh, excuse me. I need a nap. More grassroots stuff. And then he was saying that he didn't really want Amazon to be taking his profit, so he kind of wanted to do his own thing and then hopefully get a publisher to contact him. And I told him, check out YouTube as far as a way to kind of grow what you're doing, because I know a few people I'm sub to. Like there's a guy that talks about finance stuff. I can't remember his name. Something like Financial Turmoil Explained, I think. In fact, is that what he's called? I think it's Financial Turmoil Explained. Yeah. So this guy's, if you're into finance stuff, I would recommend watching this guy's channel. He talks about a lot of different finance things, hyperinflation, market stuff, crypto things. He is kind of, no, I'm not going to say that. He covers a lot of cool topics, and he talks in depth about a lot of stuff. So if you're the type that's kind of into the markets at all, if you have any interest in the kind of macroeconomic stuff, kind of like the Kaiser report that I was talking about a few videos ago, I find that he has a lot of interesting insight. You can tell the way he's kind of talking about a lot of this different stuff that, he's kind of connected to it. So anyways, thought I would give Financial Turmoil Explained a shout out. But the reason that I'm mentioning this channel is because he's written a couple books. So he uses the YouTube channel in part to promote what he's doing on the channel, but he also mentions, if you want to read more, check out one of my books, right? So if any of you are thinking about writing a book, and honestly, if you're trying to market anything in the world, if you're trying to market a volunteer organization, if you're trying to market fundraising for your kid's soccer club or baseball club or whatever, if you're trying to sell something. I used to use YouTube to sell all sorts of stuff: rototillers, weed whackers, motorcycles. Almost everything I've sold that was more than, 50 or $100, I have made a video about. I don't really have a lot of that stuff online still because I don't like having videos of things that aren't any longer for sale up, because then people keep saying, are they for sale? But anyway, so all in all, go back to our bike website here. All in all, the Earth Day was kind of cool. I left around 11 o'clock or so. It was a little bit of a modest event. There wasn't that many booths, but I think it probably was going to pick. I think it was kind of picking up as I was leaving. I guess they sort of put it together kind of quickly and recently. When you want to, getting people to the event and getting sponsors isn't always the hardest thing. Getting the traffic is sometimes the hardest thing. So if you're ever trying to, in fact, I'll close on this. I remember I used to work for a guy that did minor traumatic brain injury, and every year he put on a seminar. And the year that I worked for him, the seminar that he put on, it was like, there was just barely any people there. He was, poor Randy, he was so sad that, it was like less than a dozen people. It was sort of laughable. But I think there was another minor traumatic brain conference that was like the same week or a week before or a week after or something. And he sort of thought that they were trying to kind of snooker him and get all the clients that he might have gotten. And it was just, I don't know if he could have been a part of that conference or what, but it was just kind of a shame. So it goes to show that even if you've done something for a while, even if you sort of have an expectation of how many people are going to attend your event, never underestimate the amount of effort that it takes to promote an event. People are busy, schedules coincide. Just because you have something on Facebook and on Meetup doesn't mean you're going to get hundreds and hundreds of people. So that is my free 2 cents on how to get a bunch of people to your event. At any rate, very, very cool trip to Earth Day. Got a little bit of exercise. I'm kind of tired now, especially because I wasn't up super late, but I was up till like 12 or 1 or something. And then got up at like 6 for some reason. I can't explain why, but the universe woke me up at 6 and said, wake up, LA Prepper, you got work to do. I said, okay, all right. And it was worth it. Got my bike fixed, got some seeds, made a few connections, might have met a client or two, all for free. It cost me my time, but I didn't have any work going on today anyway, so. Until next time, YouTube, check out what's going on in your community. Check out places to volunteer. Check out what kind of fairs and things are going on. Check out meetup.com. Super, super cool way to see what's going on in the local area. I would not have known about this Earth Fair event if it was not for meetup.com. In fact, I think I was looking at the repair thing because I'm a member of the Repair Cafe, and then I saw the Earth Day thing, and then I was looking up the Earth Day thing, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll go check it out. So anyways, until next time, be a good global citizen, be a good local citizen, like, comment, subscribe, and of course, keep prepping.